Greetings, fellow slinging agents in the wild. Welcome back to the show. Before we begin, as usual, we got to get to our shoutouts. Over on our YouTube channel, I want to welcome Mick824. Welcome to the show. Next, we have from good friend of the show, Henry Anderson, who says, "Thank you, bros. Is it me or are my fellow agents getting very careful? I do go for that approach as well, yet..." Yes, that they are. Might be because of all the stuff they've seen or that we've brought a new / old agent into the mix. But also, as I've mentioned in the past, these investigations aren't a sprint, and sometimes they take time to investigate what might be obvious. But yeah, I know the frustration when we listen to the agents and they're on the cusp of a revelation and we're thinking, do this, or do that, or what you thinking? And they do something else. But what I will say is the entire season is wrapped and edited, and I know what lies ahead, and I know what's about to go down. And yes, each is still on his game. So you got a few more episodes to look forward to. In fact, we're just over the halfway mark, so we still have a bit of a margin for all these things to come to fruition and pan out. So hang tight, Henry. It's there for you. Next, we have over on our Facebook page, Ash Smith, who wrote, "Slowly catching up, but loving the story so far." Thank you, Ash. I'm glad it caught your interest. I guess that means we're still hitting that high mark that we strive for. And finally, from good friend of the show, Balint Babos, who wrote a long one saying, "Hey, always good to take some time to listen to your work. This specific investigation is a especially hard one. Lots of loosely connected info slowly coming together. I love the suspense and I really can't wait. What the hell are you, the keeper, up to with this one?" On another topic, are you planning on leveling up the threat eventually from local myths, e.g. the Tibetan folklore monsters like Under a Pale Moon, to the Cthulhu-style mythos creatures eventually? I'd love to see the agents going up against the alien Migo conspiracy. That's what my players are digging in at the moment. Or scooping up the remnants of the Karoteka, or encountering other Cthulhu myths creatures. And by the way, I know I butchered that one word. Sorry about that, Balint. But still, what I'm waiting for most is unraveling secrets from the organization / program / DG, whatever you cooked up. Keep up the good work. I'm up to getting some minor details for my story today. To that, I can only say thank you, brother. I'd love to hear about that story you're cooking up. Yeah, a few others have mentioned the suspense and investigative nature of the three agents as well. However, as I already know what happens, I will say they are picking up the clues left behind, and like most of the previous seasons, things are going to be ramping up real soon. As for encountering other mythos creatures, I do have plans for that in the future, but what's stayed my hand is that there are so many other actual plays out there. I just figured you guys would have had your fill. I don't know if I could really bring anything to the table, which I certainly can, but I guess what I mean to say is I don't know if I bring anything that you guys would want. And judging from your comment, I see you do. So, yes. But as for the next season, which will be called Enraptured, I've already finished all the prep for it, and that'll be the next one to drop, providing that Tone has yet to complete his scenario, so I can get to the other side of the handler screen next to Sam. So right into Tone, tell him, hey, snap it up there, brother. And I intend to continue producing these seasons for all you hard-slinging agents in the wild. Why? Because I know you guys are having fun listening to them, and we here in the Rage Room are still having fun putting them out. As always, don't be strangers. Write in and leave me a comment, because I want to hear from you all. All right, let's warm up our dice and top off our glasses. Roll the Hard 20 presents Episode 8 of our homebrewed scenario, Playthings. Enjoy. better than me asking you guys, well, what do you think about this? How do you think the thing's going? When I hear you guys postulating theories, to me, that's pretty cool. So, but as long as you guys are having a good time.
Yes.
All right. Greetings, fellow Sling agents in the wild. It is I, your trusted handler, Brian, and with me, my heart slingers of yore.
Do it live!
Episode 8 of our homebrewed scenario, Playthings. Currently, you guys have left your hotel to go sit in front of History's Emporium for the next hour and a half until they open. Located at 2315 Old Generette Road in New Iberia, it replaced the Dollar General that had been waning in patrons since a third Dollar General had moved in down the road. So, what are you guys going to do?
Well, is there a back entrance, an alley, service entrance?
It's straight up just a big cinder block building in the middle of a square of asphalt.
Okay, yeah, but there's no door in the back of the building?
Probably.
All right, let's go check it.
Okay. Are you in your car just putting around? Or are you actually going to get out of that car and go look?
Park in the back.
Well, however you manage to get to the back door, you see that there is a big metal door back there.
Got it.
Are these something that looks like each could lockpick?
Well, it's got a deadbolt and an actual locking knob as well. You got to figure that this probably isn't like a thrift store. This is probably an antique store, so their security would probably be a little more boosted.
Since this place is closed, and it looks probably too formidable to sneak in, how long is it to the medical examiners?
The medical examiner's office is located at 2316 East Main Street, which is actually about a half a mile southeast from the medical center. So it's probably about maybe 8 minutes from your current location.
Okay, so we can go there and back and still have enough time to get back to the opening time here.
Most likely, yeah.
Okay.
So, gentlemen, it looks like our attempt to surveil History's Emporium this morning is a bust. I say that we go to the medical examiner and see if we have any better luck getting in this morning.
Yeah, we're thinking the medical examiner is going to be open at 7 in the morning.
Possibly.
Well, we'll find out.
Get back in the Charger, start rumbling down the road. Takes you about 10 minutes with the morning traffic and whatnot to get there. You see that the medical examiner's office is housed in Iberia Parish Coroner's office, which is inside of a single-story brown building with lighter, dirtier brown trim. You could see on the glass the stenciled words that say medical examiner on it. The cracked parking lot is mostly empty, except for 2 cars.
We'll go on in.
All right. Entering the building, you get the feeling that the ME's office is underfunded. Vinyl-backed chairs and a Formica case with golfing trophies inside belie the final destination of their client's location. You see that there's a woman filing something behind a desk just off to the right of the door. When you walk in, she looks up and says, "May I help you?"
Yes, ma'am. We would... Oh, actually, each. You should take this one.
All right. Each will walk up, show his badge.
Oh.
Good morning. I'm Agent Kimura. These are my associates, Agent Adesso and Agent Rice. And we had a few questions for the medical examiner that might have been dealing with the Trasco, the Claiborne, and the Hooper cases.
Oh, well, that would be Dr. Barclay.
Okay, is Dr. Barclay in, or?
Yeah, he just got in a few moments ago, actually. He's probably still setting up back there. Let me call back there. Gives a ring back there. Yes, Dr. Barclay. You have 3 FBI agents up here? Uh-huh. Okay, will do. She hangs up the phone. She says, "Go ahead and go through the double doors in the back. And the first door on the right will be Dr. Barclay's office. I think he's in there doing something." She continues going on with her morning duty.
So we'll go back and knock on the door if it's open, or if it's not open, we'll still knock.
Yeah, as you go through the double doors, you see that there's a door on the right. It's actually open. It opens
Okay.
onto a office with a generic desk, and you see a man sitting back there. Looks like he's in his mid-30s, hair already salt and peppered, and he's got a thin, hooked nose. He's sitting there, he's got an unlit cigarette hanging out of his mouth. He looks up and he says, "Agents, how may I be of assistance?"
I'll make introductions. I'm Agent Kimura. This is Agent Adesso and Agent Rice. We had some questions for you about the cases dealing with the Trosco family as well as the Hooper and Claiborne family. We understand that you were the ones that potentially has been working on this case.
Well, I'm the one that investigated the bodies, yes. What can I help
Okay.
you with in that
Well,
regards?
we do have a series of questions we've been working with. Are you familiar with Inspector Lang?
Not yet. Not
He's
personally,
been
I should
recently
say.
assigned to the case.
I have heard of him, and I heard that he's going to eventually be paying me a visit. I've been mostly dealing with Detective Grady.
Yeah, well, Inspector Lang and his associate, Inspector Octavo, have been, they've taken over this case now. And we are working with them. And we wanted to potentially talk to you. Currently, they're still with, what was her name? Maxine Trosco. She's still at the hospital.
Well, unless you expect her on my table in the near future, I wouldn't know where this Maxine Trosco
No, I
is.
was saying that's where they are. And they're still dealing with Maxine. So we decided to come over here and have some questions with you.
In regard to the Troscos or the Claibornes?
Basically, we have a few questions involving some of the things you might have or might not have seen or procured from the family. You're familiar that with the two younger daughters of the Claiborne and the Hooper family?
Yes.
And you, may I ask, you did see them, and apparently they had self-inflicted wounds.
That's correct.
And were those wounds similar to the wounds that the family had? Were they knife wounds?
No. No, I believe the Hooper family were killed by a shotgun blast at close range. If my records
I'm
are
sorry,
correct.
I meant were the young girls, were their wounds consistent with what happened with their families?
No, ironically, both of those young girls were sent to me via Iberia Medical Center. But
Could
no.
you tell me how the girls killed themselves, sir?
Well, I did the autopsy on both young women. Let's see here. And he starts going through his files and pulls out one, as I said, Lucy Claiborne, 6 years old, 4'8", 56 pounds, blonde hair, one blue eye, cause of death, exsanguination due to multiple ventricle lacerations on the left and right inner wrists. Apparently, the instrument she used was a metal pen. Let's see. Haley Hooper, 7 years old, 65 pounds, brown hair, brown eyes. Feature of note, missing right index finger. Cause of death, manual strangulation caused by ligature. Seems she hung herself under the bathroom sink at the hospital.
Could you mention that part again about her finger, sir?
She was missing her right index finger.
Right index finger was missing. Did that seem to be part of the event, or was this a missing finger from some time ago?
It's hard to tell. It looked as though it was already cauterized, but I didn't pull up her birth records or any other previous medical conditions to see whether or not when she had lost that finger, if she was born that way.
You can tell from if it's covered up, it's from a long time ago. If it's a fresh wound, it's a fresh wound. Was it a fresh wound?
It's hard to tell. I don't think it was fresh. It looked like it had been cauterized for some time.
Okay, well, so I'm obviously not a doctor. To me, cauterized means someone took a cigarette lighter and pressed it to the stump to stop the bleeding. Does this cauterized mean that it was closed up medically with stitches, or?
No, it looked as though it might have been cauterized, but the flesh wasn't red. It wasn't irritated.
Okay. Adesso or Rice, do you have any questions you want to ask this doctor here?
Was this a new wound or an old wound? I can't tell from your description.
I can't tell. It was impossible to tell how long ago it had been.
Well, surely you can tell a cauterized wound will have some scabbing or
Well,
some
that's what I'm
other
saying. There was no
trauma.
irritation. There was no blistering. The finger was just missing.
Was it cauterized post-mortem?
No, it wasn't. It looked as though there had been some healing, perhaps.
In your professional opinion, that finger and the observation of cauterization and healing, could you ascertain a guess of how long ago that injury may have occurred? Days, weeks, months?
Oh, no, it looked like it could have been possibly weeks, maybe longer.
And you mentioned something about her eye, too?
No, not Haley, the Lucy Claiborne.
I'm sorry. Yes, Lucy Claiborne. What did you mention about her eye?
I was just making a mention of note that, if I could go back through my notes again, because I had moved.
So Haley was missing a finger, and Lucy was slit her wrist and is missing an eye?
Yes, one of her eyes was missing.
Okay. 1 minute, please, and I'll whisper to Rice. What finger was the doll with the yellow finger?
It's funny you mentioned that, Ichi. I was asking myself the same question. I'll have to look at the photo again. Adesso and Ichi, why don't you continue talking to the doctor? I'm just going to look at some of the pictures that we had. So while they're continuing to talk to the medical examiner, I'm looking at the older pictures that we have of Haley to see which fingernail was painted yellow. Because we never determined that before.
It wasn't a fingernail, it was a finger.
Finger on the doll, right?
On
Yes,
the
finger
doll,
on the
yes. Yes.
All of Haley's fingernails were painted, though.
Oh, that's right.
But one doll had one yellow finger, you said.
Maxine's did. Can we look at which finger on Maxine's doll had the yellow finger?
Look in the picture, you see it was the right index finger.
So that's the one that was cut off. So there is
Right.
another link.
Another linkage. We still don't know what the linkages are, but we're...
Dr.
Okay.
Barclay, do you happen to have the young girl's personal belongings? Particularly, we're looking for something that might help us out. Specifically, we're looking at maybe they had brought some dolls with them or some dolls were collected.
There was really nothing with young Haley, but I seem to recall that Lucy Claiborne had some personal effects with her. I had contacted the detective who was working the case, a Detective Grady. Do you know of him?
Yes, he's the one that worked previously on it and who's now allowed the case to be taken over by Inspector Lang.
Yes, I had informed him that he could notify the next of kin to pick up the child's property.
So you no longer have that here then? He came and picked it up?
Well, he brought the next of kin, or had her meet him here, and when the woman arrived to pick up the personal effects of the child, she hardly took any personal effects with her, actually. It was odd. The only thing she took was this odd-looking doll that had accompanied the child's body. Everything else she left behind.
You happen to know who the woman was?
Yes, it was, it's in here somewhere.
Was it a Roberta Glazier, perchance?
No, it wasn't. Her last name was Hooper. Serena Hooper. She
Yes,
signed
that
it
is
up.
the next of kin.
Yes. Apparently she was the aunt of the young child.
Yes, so now you examined her daughter as well.
It's a tragedy what's happened in this town. But, you really mustn't read too far into it. That's my business. I look at dead people daily. It'd be like you and your agent here dying within a few weeks of each other, and you think it's a big catastrophe, but really it's just the way of life. Eventually we'll all pay that toll. I gotta write that down. Making a memoir.
I'm going to post that on X.
Make a bumper sticker out of it.
So, what about the other... So there was only one doll?
That's correct, yes.
All right, well, if you could give me and my fellow agents a moment, Doctor, we need to talk amongst ourselves, and we'll just step out into the hallway.
Okay. He goes back to work on whatever he's doing at his desk.
Okay, so what did you find, Rice?
I found that Maxine's doll, the yellow finger, was the index finger on the right hand.
And Haley was strangled, and she is missing a right index finger. How does that go together?
Ichi, I wish I knew. I'm still perplexed of this connection of these dolls. I really believe that History's Emporium is where we're going to find our answers.
Yes. Also, we know that Serena, the cousin, picked up the articles, and so she had the doll. How come we don't know where that doll is?
Yeah, it's curious because it wasn't.
Do we want to see if if they have the evidence, or who would have the evidence for the families that were killed, the medical stuff to Odesso?
If there's nobody who claims it, let's just say there was no next of kin, the property is either discarded after it's been inventoried and they've been unable to determine, and they make a record of that saying property discarded. That would be the only way for us to know. Because if it was picked up, there should be a receipt saying Johnny so-and-so picked up the property. And if there isn't anybody, they note that too and then throw it away.
But we know that Serena, she has the doll, or had the doll before her death.
Oh, just one thought. Are we putting any stock that this is not the same doll? Yeah, the dolls are different. We already know that.
Well, we also know, too, that as far as I remember, Lucy was not missing an eye. Yet the doctor said here that she was missing an eye.
And she
Stumped
slit her
the criminal.
wrists. Ichi and Odesso, I think we're wasting our time here. I think that History's Emporium is where we will get our answers. We know even less today, other than we're still continuing to link similarities between the families and the dolls.
Well, I could pretty much, I'd bet Lucy's other eye that those dolls were all purchased there, and that's dark. And they were all purchased there, and the person calling back about them realized they did some sort of oops. But how long do we have until 9 o'clock, Handler?
Probably got about another 15, 20 minutes or so.
Oh, okay. So that means that the handler says, yeah, get out of here, you're done. Let's go over to the other place now. I can speak handler.
After all these years.
I'll go back to Dr. Barclay. Thank you again for your help. And I will leave my phone number. If you hear about anything else that you find peculiar or might be pertinent to the case, you
Well,
can
the
call me.
Troscos were recently admitted to my tables. I will let you know if I come up with anything abnormal, but right now it's just looking like murder's suicide. So it's the same as the Hooper family and the Claiborne family.
The missing eye, was this an eye that was missing since she was born and had a glass eye, or was it gouged out with the pen that she used to cut her own wrists?
Well, it looked like might have been ejected during her demise, possibly.
So she cut it out, or it popped out?
It's possible.
I'm not an educated man, doctor. Those four-letter words, you have to
Well, it's
speak a
hard
little
to-
bit more common for me.
From what I could understand from the hospital staff, she was checked in with both eyes. So, and I can't, I don't think anybody took it out between when she was checked in to when she checked out.
Okay, and you can surmise that she cut her own wrist then?
That's what I have to believe. Apparently she got a hold of a metallic ballpoint pen and cut both of her wrists vertically.
Well, wait 1 second. You say a metallic ballpoint pen. You mean like a Bic pen or a Pilot pen, or perhaps something different, like a all metallic pen? How does a
Possibly an
ballpoint pen
all-metallic.
get sharp enough? Pardon?
I don't know. All I could say is that when they recovered her body, she was laying on the floor, and there was a metal pen beside her, and her wrists were
Metal
slashed.
pen beside her.
Yes.
So, who made the assumption that it was the pen that was the implement to cut her wrists?
I imagined the hospital staff, and then they sent her to me, and along with the device that she used, and I concurred.
You found pieces of blood and flesh in the pen?
Appeared to be so, yes.
What kind of edge does this pen have?
I don't know. I would imagine it was probably the clip that she used.
The clip. Was there evidence of it being sharpened?
No, but there was evidence of multiple attempts on her wrist. There wasn't just one slash. There was between 20 and 30 slashes per wrist. Very motivated young child.
Very motivated.
Dedication.
And
You
a
don't
lot of
find
time.
that dedication with kids these days.
Yeah, motivated with a lot of time, because that wouldn't have happened easily. And especially with a girl, that's highly unusual to go that way. That's a lot of pain. Did anybody do a toxology report on her?
Came back clean, other than having some kind of a additive to help sleep, to help calm her down. Nothing to make her irritated or agitated. But look,
was it
agents, I'm
Woodford's?
sorry. I hate to keep going on, but I do have another appointment this morning. So, if you'd like to make an appointment, you could just see Miss Paths out front. She'll be more than happy to pencil you in.
Well, thank you for your time, sir. We will, if we have any other questions, we'll make an appointment.
One last question. How did, I forget the name of the first girl, how did she commit suicide?
She slit her wrists.
That was the one who slit her wrists.
No, okay, both of them slit their wrist. Do I have that
No.
right?
Strangled.
Strangled.
Second
Manual
one-
strangulation. Like tying something to a door and leaning forward.
No,
or something
she
of the
was
nature.
found tied to the drain under the sink in her room's bathroom.
Right. Tying it onto something, leaning forward, strangulation. Also, a great amount of will.
I have an idea. We can talk about it on our way out to the car.
Okay. You guys make it out to the car. Tell me where you're going.
We're going to head back to History's Emporium, but who's driving?
Odessa.
Okay, Adesso, let's head back to History's Emporium. I have a idea. I picked up on something that the ME said, that Lucy's eye was missing between the hospital and the medical examiner's office. It seems that maybe whatever entity or person is in play here, maybe they're constructing another doll from the parts of the victim. You have a missing eye from Lucy. You have a finger from Haley Hooper. As morbid as it sounds, maybe it's some sort of ritual where they bring life to a doll or a person. I mean, color me crazy, but it seems odd.
Well,
Yeah.
wouldn't it? I mean, you got eyes and fingers. I would like to see something. I mean, I like the theory, but I would be thinking for something like hearts or brains or some other kind of high-functioning organ that would be used in the process of the sacrifice. I don't know. I like it. How do we tie it together? I mean, these things seem to be so trivial. A finger and eye is substantial.
But maybe the rest of the parts are Maxine.
Interesting.
Yeah. Either the dolls are cutting the pieces off to become human, and I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a doll with a real human eye and a real human finger coming up. Or somebody's doing this, maybe Miss Roberta Glazier at History's Emporium, that we're going to see. Maybe she's constructing another doll.
Wait, the doll? You think the dolls, Ichi, may have perpetrated these heinous acts upon these children? I didn't even think of that, but...
It's no more crazy than anything else we've ever faced. It's no more crazy than werewolves and yetis and dinosaurs and all sorts of mist walkers.
We need to talk to this Roberta Glazier.
All right,
or Glacier.
Yeah, Glacier. It's French.
Yeah, ho.
We'll find out more there.
So you pull up to History's Emporium. You see as you pull in that there's a lone car in the parking lot. It's an old Chrysler 5th Avenue. At this point, all the shutters are up in the windows, and the metal bars that would block the front door are pulled back. The sign has been flipped from closed to open.
Okay. I have the receipt that was on the fridge, but I won't bring that out to her attention, and I'm going to wait and see if she's denying any messages or anything like that. We'll see, though, when we go in there. Who wants to take lead?
Let the counselor take lead. Adesso.
As you enter the store, the overhead bell chimes with your passing. As you look across the store, you notice the different sections in the store. You see old lamps, curio cabinets and tables, crystal and porcelain wares, gold and silver jewelry and accents, old toys, and bayou oddities. After a few moments, an old woman comes from the back room. She looks to be in her late 60s. As she sees the three of you standing in the entryway, she makes her way towards you, and you could see on her lapel that there's a name tag that says Roberta Glazier, owner. And she says, "May I help you?"
Yes. Miss Glazier, hi.
Hello!
I'm sorry. Are you unable to hear me quite easily?
No, I heard you. You said hi. I said hello back.
I'm Special Agent Adesho. This is Special Agent Rice and Kimura. We just had a couple questions or following up on a case. We found this receipt, and we were wondering if you could tell us what was purchased.
Oh, let me take it over to the computer. May I have the receipt?
Yes, of course.
She takes it over and she hobbles her way around the counter and starts henpecking this keyboard.
She's annoying it?
She's a woman, yes. Oh, yes. Molly doll. You know, that doll was sold 2 times in 2 months. Yes, I remember the first time I sold it. Let me see. Like I said, it was about 2 months ago. A woman had entered the store with her young daughter and asked if we carried seasoned lamps. And while I helped her, her little one spent time over in our toy section. Just as we found the lamp she'd been searching for, her little one came up to her with the doll she had discovered and asked if her mother would get it for her. So the mother, she was so excited. You know, she said that was the exact lamp she had been looking for. It was really going to tie the room together. This beautiful lamp with the shade and... Where was I?
You were about to tell us about the doll?
Oh, yes, Molly doll. So the mother bought the lamp and Molly doll. 3 days after the mother had bought the doll, she returned to the store with it. The doll, not the lamp. obviously. But the mother was frantic. She could barely breathe as she spoke, saying she needed the doll out of her house. She wanted to return it, and that the store could keep her money. $50, mind you. And so I asked, what on earth is the matter? She said her daughter Macy had concerns about the doll. You could feel the fear coming off this woman. Oh my. Oh, I was stunned. I said, I thought she liked the doll. I mean, she picked it out. And she said, no, that was Lacey. I'm talking about my other daughter, Macy, Lacey's twin sister. This was news to me, as I had only seen the one girl with her mother when they both entered the store. Apparently the other young girl had waited in the car with her father. Oh, I do hope they had the AC on. It was such a hot day that day. You know, you could really die if you're left in the car all by yourself.
Understood, ma'am. Understood. But this receipt is for $250, and you just mentioned it was returned for $50.
Please, you mustn't rush me.
Of
Please
course.
Don't rush me. Anyways, I was stumped, and so I asked, well, what on earth kinds of concerns do you mean? And she said that Macy, who is Lacey's twin, had walked into her sister's room to grab something to draw with when she heard someone talking to her. She said she turned around and saw it was the doll talking to her. She said her daughter ran out of the room and told her, and the mother said she was incredulous, explaining she had never heard the doll make so much as a peep. Nobody did. However, she then asked the daughter whose doll it was. That would be Lacey, the one who actually came into the store with the mother, if she had ever heard the doll speak. She said Lacey told her the doll spoke to her when she first saw it in the store, asking Lacey to take it home with her. That's why the young girl asked the mother for the doll. Anyways, not more than 15 minutes after the conversation with her daughter, she was back in my store with the doll, frantic. I don't know what to believe. I mean, Molly doll never spoke to me. It's the ugliest doll. I heard the mother saying...
More than one?
Say that again, Sonny?
Do you have more than one of these type of dolls? Maybe any more here that we could look at?
Oh, no, Molly doll was a one and only thing. I don't even know how it came into my inventory. It must have been when I bought the store several months ago. Anyways...
You said that the lady returned it, then someone else bought it? Who might that be?
Oh, let's see. That would be an individual named Dean Claiborne, who had come in with his daughter. And that was about 6 weeks ago. You know, it's strange. I had forgot I had put that doll back on the shelf, too. And you wouldn't know it. The daughter had taken a fancy to that, and so the father wanted to buy the doll for her. But, I was hesitant to sell it after Mrs. Majors had returned it. But the man, this Mr. Claiborne, he was determined to purchase it. So I proposed an outrageous price for the doll. And I was quite surprised when the man had agreed. I guess he was in quite the doghouse with the family. I could smell the booze coming off him. So I sold it to him.
For $100?
$250.
Oh, let's see. And this Mrs. Majors, do you happen to have maybe a number that we could reach her?
I have it around here somewhere, but it's right next to her receipt for her credit card. Let's see. 555-8242. And let's see, here's her address. It's 2015 La Belle Villa.
Okay. You mentioned you don't know anything about this doll. Is there any type of, little paperwork that came with it, or any kind of history or anything like that maybe someone might know about?
You know, now that I think about it, I do remember where I got the doll. I had taken possession of the doll through the course of a storage bidding war held at Stack and Stow Storage Facility. It was a unit number 302, I believe. I have to say, I was really pretty lucky that day. The sun was out, it was a beautiful birds chirping. Nobody else showed up for the auction that day.
Do you know why they were selling this? Someone just didn't pay their storage bill, or?
Well, it would appear what had happened, that the previous owners had defaulted on it, and I was told as long as I paid the back dues, I had to the end of the day to clean it out. And let me tell you, that storage unit was a real mess. You know, I had gone inside the unit to see what I had won, and it was just ghastly, filthy. The walls and floor of the unit had been covered in all these weird drawings. Even the ceiling. They looked like children's drawings. Different shapes and sizes, unusual angles and colors. None of it made any sense to me. You know, I took my eyeglasses off a couple of times and I don't know. You know, they must have been drawn by very undisciplined children. To think that parents would let their children draw all over the walls. Something like that just didn't belong to them. The nerve.
Were there any other items in that storage unit that looked like they might be part of this Molly doll collection?
Well, there were a few cabinets in the back, but that was the only doll. It was odd as all. As all get up. It was on top of a pedestal. And I walked over to it. There's sand all over the floor and whatnot. I just don't understand it. You know, I tried my best to clean it, to scrub this stuff, but all it did was really smear it. And so I took a few things and displayed them throughout the store. And honestly, I was by myself. I'm a widow. I can't lift heavy things. So I figured for the default, the things that I was able to sell, some of the crystals and some of the silver and the gold and the dentures and everything else, it was worth it. It was kind of a wash, but it was good to get out of the store.
Okay.
Do you have any information on the previous owner
Of
that particular unit? Do they give you a receipt or anything that would list the name of the previous owner?
No, they said for security purposes they could not.
Understood.
But it's not far from here. It's just a few miles down the road.
Right.
Do you still, well, I guess you purchased the lot. You don't still have the unit.
No, I just purchased what was inside, took what I could, and left it for the rest of them.
You said it was on a pedestal. Do you have that?
No, I couldn't pick up the pedestal. It was much too heavy for my back.
Did you know if it had any pictures or engravings on it?
On the pedestal?
Yes.
There might have been. It was hard to see, honestly. There was very low light, just a little 40-watt bulb in the ceiling, and it just oddities all over the place. But like I said, I took what I thought could bring a value and possibly turn this venture into a profit.
Well, what happened to the rest of the stuff in the storage facility that you didn't take, if you know?
Well, I left it behind. I don't know. I suppose the storage facility itself might know.
Okay. Anything else curious from that location that you may have in your store currently?
I believe I sold everything off. There were some crystals. There was a wooden skull that was handcrafted. I got quite a bit. I got $1,500 for that. But the individual paid cash and asked not to write a receipt, so I didn't. And I don't have to declare that this year.
Do you have any photographs of that skull? It sounds like a unique item.
I'm sorry, I do not. I don't take pictures of my inventory. I'm sorry, I'm not old-fashioned that way, and I don't have any sentimental value to anything here. I figure when I go, I'll shuffle off this mortal coil.
I will write down my number and slide the card to her and say, if you have any other information, particularly about that doll, can you please give me a call?
Yes, I can do that, Agent Kimura. Yes, I will do that.
You can just call me Ichi.
Is
That
on
means
the...
one.
Oh. Well, thank you,
Yes.
one.
Yes, if you get any information or if that doll does return to your store, as it has before, please give us a call. We'll pay even more than a person that would be buying it for the third time.
Well, I will keep that in mind. Thank you, Juan.
It's one, not Juan.
Odele. As you guys start making your way out the door, she goes, "Oh, Juan, I almost forgot.
What is it, abuelita?
Estas un... There was an unusual hole in the back of Molly doll,
I don't know if I want to hear this.
and inside was a leather bag. I didn't want to take it out. I didn't feel like I just left it in there, so... But that was the only thing unusual about that doll.
A reliquary.
Anyways, toodles." She goes back to the back room.
Well, that was a nice little note to leave us right before we leave her store. Oh yeah, by the way, there's a bag of fucking fetishes inside this thing.
Yeah, it was a reliquary for a lost demon, restrained by the salt of the tears of 1,000 angels.
Well, yeah, as we're leaving, I guess we have a few more places that we can go follow up. Mrs. Major's mom, as well as Stack and Stow.
Well, it becomes apparent to me that we've got to get that doll out of that girl's hands. That's the key. That's what's been doing it. I bet you she drives the kid to kill herself. The doll's the issue. Being since I've failed so spectacularly at getting into that hospital, anybody have any better ideas?
Well, I think if we try to go to the hospital, it's just we're not gonna get in unless we use force, and then that would, I think we have these other two places to check out. I don't know if they'd still have that place looking all shithole and everything at the Stack and Stow. But
well, you know
we can
what?
ask
What
why
if
the
we
mom
were
wants to return wanted to return that doll?
Wait a minute. How about we have the police work for us? What if we tell our inspector that we think the doll holds evidence, and we disclose to him the hole in the back of the doll with the bag inside, and we can disclose to him that we think the bag contains some evidence, some DNA, something that would help crack the case open if the doll was taken from the possession of the young lady in question. Then we don't have to see her. They'll bring it to us.
Is that what you want to do? What do you want to do?
We're talking
I'm worried
about
that
it.
if we tell him that that we're not going to be able to get something we need. They're going to requisition it, and then we won't be able to have it.
Where are you guys going to go?
Well,
Well, I think if anything, we should check out the newest information we got from the Mrs. Majors and find out, what she knows about the doll. Was her daughter Lacey and Macy, were they friends with these other kids? Were their families, whatever? What
Are
they
they
know
still
about
alive?
Molly doll? Yeah, like I want to know where these other dolls are coming from. Are these all built from parts of other kids? Like I have no idea.
I have a feeling they're just one doll.
They're just sharing the doll.
Yeah. I think it's one doll that has made its way. You guys tell me if I'm wrong
Well, it
on
keeps
this.
changing eyeballs or changing eye colors. And
As
shit.
it gets a part and piece from each one of its victims.
Weren't there pictures of? Was it always just the picture with one doll? There were never two dolls together.
No, there's never two dolls together.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
so
looking
that's-
through my
that's the
notes, and
thing,
I
then, it's
agree.
one doll.
Yeah, so it's one doll, and it's picking up pieces and parts. It's got the one yellow finger, which was probably taking the fingernails and made its whole finger
Well, it
yellow.
took the finger off the other chick.
Yeah, or the two eyes are different colors because she took one of the eyes from the other girl.
Yeah.
And so we'll see what she gets from Miss Maxine after Maxine does herself in, because I don't think we're going to be able to stop that.
As you guys pile in the car, Odesso, your phone rings.
Well, I look at the number. Who is it?
It says unknown caller.
That's got to be Paul. It's probably our handler or it's a law enforcement agency. So I'll answer it, Agent Odesso.
Where are the three of you? And I will see you next episode.
I keep forgetting about this guy.
I keep forgetting about him too. Should I just hang up the phone on him? Just, where are you? Click. Outside of game for a second. How do we want to play this? Do we want to save the girl's life or do we want to get the evidence? I mean, if we're staying in character, this girl's life, well, the loss of it would be a tragedy. It's for the course for us. We just need to get the doll. We need the doll and we need to destroy the doll so this doesn't spread anywhere else. If she happens to be a casualty, our dictates in game would just be like, too bad for her. It's just the way it goes. Or we can play it the other way and say we'd like to save the girl, therefore we need the doll, and letting these guys know that it may be significant is just another thing. We could always use the jurisdictional thing for the FBI and come in and grab all the evidence under the auspices of, we're the FBI, we're taking custody of this case, thank you very much.
Ling's already not playing that, though.
Yeah, we'd have to come up with some kind of documentation from FBI headquarters directing
didn't he already
to
call?
cooperate with us.
Didn't he already call somebody about us?
No, that was the medical guy who called Ling to tell him I was there. He didn't call the FBI. He called Ling and says, I'm here.
That's
he
right.
took my ID to verify who I was.
I don't think that we're going to be able to get into that room without breaking character, without fucking up the game.
No, I'm thinking we could get Heisenberg to fax over something on what would appear to be an honest-to-God FBI line saying, yeah, you're going to turn over all the evidence of your investigation to us, and we'll take the box of whatever it is, take the doll out, destroy it, and then figure out how to, well, we already know what the cause is, so the evidence is immaterial. We've succeeded. We've taken the doll out of circulation and destroyed it. So how do we want to play it?
Thing is you can't call Heisenberg to have him do that, though, because you're technically not agents. You have real IDs, but he doesn't have the authority to do that. And if your IDs are scrutinized too closely, they will fail. So you got to be careful.
Correct me on this. The ID is a real FBI issued ID.
Yeah, but there's nothing behind them, though. Like, there's no, who would they call? I mean,
exactly. Well, I'm thinking Heisenberg, from wherever he is, could send over a fax or an email that purports to be from a government ID and says, hey, Dr. or Inspector Lane, you're going to need to give up all of the evidence to this. We're taking over jurisdiction, more paperwork to follow.
Okay. Well, let's bring it back in game. Thank you for joining us once again on Roll the Hard 20 podcast. Remember, you can find us and subscribe to the show on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Pandora Radio, iHeart Radio, Amazon Podcasts, and Audible. And if you like what you're listening to, be sure to leave us that 5-star rating and review. Don't forget about our YouTube channel at Roll the Hard 20. So if you're into watching and you want to help support the show, then head on over and hit that subscribe button. It really does help the show out. We can also be found in the wild on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, so don't forget to look for us there and check us out. You can also contact the show directly at rollthehard20podcast@gmail.com or head on over to the website at rollthehard20podcast.com, where you can download the current show directly, pick and choose past shows from our archives, or view our galleries. We've got a lot of stuff posted over there, so check us out. And finally, join us on our Patreon at patreon.com/rollthehard20podcast, where you can become a hard slinger and pick up swag. So until next time, keep your dice warm and your glass topped off as you roll those hard 20s.